After that shocking upset in Game 1, the defending champion Las Vegas Aces had their backs against the wall. The pressure was on big time. And in Game 2, they delivered an absolute statement. So how did they manage to flip the script so completely? Let's break it down.
I mean, this was the question on everyone's mind, right? For a team that's a heavy favorite, losing Game 1 at home is basically a disaster scenario. A second loss? That would put them on the very brink of elimination, with the series heading on the road. The stakes really couldn't have been any higher.
And let's be real about the situation they were in. The Aces, the most dominant team in the league, were down 0-1 at home. The Indiana Fever had snatched all the momentum. This game wasn't just important, it was an absolute must-win.
And their response? Oh, it was loud and clear. This wasn't just a win, it was a total demolition. A 22-point blowout that sent a message to the Fever and really the rest of the league. Game 1 was the fluke, not the new normal.
So how'd they pull it off? Well, it started from the very first second of the game. Vegas came out with a completely different level of intensity. You could feel it. It was a fire that was just missing in Game 1. This timeline really shows you that the first half was a story of runs. The Aces landed a huge first punch, racing out to an 18-point lead. But you gotta give Indiana credit. They didn't just roll over. They stormed back, cutting that lead all the way down to 6. The key moment, though, it was how the Aces closed the half. They took the Fever's best shot and still walked into that locker room with a comfortable double-digit lead.
And after halftime, it was pretty much game over. The Aces came out of the locker room and just put the hammer down for good, cruising to that massive 22-point win. There wasn't going to be a second comeback from the Fever, not this time.
So if you're looking for the single biggest reason for this incredible turnaround, you don't have to look very far. It was all about their superstar, A'ja Wilson. Her performance was just a complete night and day difference from Game 1.
I mean, just look at this comparison. The difference is stark. In Game 1, the Fever's defense really frustrated her. She had a tough night, shooting just 6 for 22. But in Game 2, she was completely unstoppable. 25 points on really efficient shooting, 9 rebounds, and an incredible 5 steals on defense. Now that is how an MVP responds. And get this, she didn't ease into it. She came out and dropped 11 points in the first quarter alone. Right away, she set this aggressive tone that told everyone, this game is gonna be different.
But look, it wasn't just A'ja Wilson going off. The whole team was dominant, and you can see it right there in the box score. The key stats from this game, they really tell the story of how this blowout happened.
It's one thing to say they played better, but where does a 22-point difference actually come from? Well, the answer really boils down to 2 key things: mistakes and efficiency.
Okay, first let's talk about the mistakes. The Aces' defense was just relentless, and they forced the Fever into a staggering 22 turnovers. In a playoff game, that many wasted possessions is just crushing. And here's the devastating part. The Aces cashed in on every single one of those mistakes for 28 points. Just think about that for a second. In a game they won by 22 points, they scored 28 points directly off of turnovers. That one stat right there tells you almost the entire story of the game.
And beyond the turnovers, there was this huge gap in just pure offensive efficiency. The Aces were shooting a blistering 54% from the field. Meanwhile, the Fever struggled, hitting only 41%. When one team is that much more effective every time they have the ball, it's nearly impossible for the other team to keep up.
And of course, it wasn't a one-woman show. For the Aces, Nylisa Smith and Jackie Young were huge with some crucial secondary scoring. On the other side, even with the loss, the Fever had some bright spots. Odyssey Sims played well, Aaliyah Boston grabbed a double-double, and Lexi Hall was on fire from deep, tying a franchise playoff record with 5 threes.
So with the series all tied up at 1 game apiece, everything changes. The board is basically reset, and the path to the WNBA Finals just got a whole lot more interesting.
And that's the most crucial point. By tying it up 1-1, it's like we just hit a giant reset button. What we have now is essentially a brand new series. It's a best-of-3 showdown with a trip to the WNBA Finals on the line.
And this is where the whole dynamic of the series just flipped on its head. Home court advantage now swings over to Indiana. Games 3 and 4 are in Indianapolis. That gives the Fever a massive opportunity to defend their home court and maybe, just maybe, end this series without ever coming back to Vegas.
So that leaves us with the ultimate question heading into Game 3, doesn't it? Did the Aces' dominant win permanently seize all the momentum? Or will a change of scenery and a fired-up home crowd be exactly what the Indiana Fever need to bounce back? The series is tied, but man, it feels like it's just getting started.